We've talked about Evan's growth this year. And when you look at how he's grown this year, how has that shown up so far in the playoffs and in what ways?
I think Game 2 is a perfect example of it. Understanding the league and understanding the moment, understanding, offensive schemes, how he can be impactful defensively, offensively, how he can, use what the defense is doing against him. His ability to play in the pocket. We've seen him play make from there. And obviously defensively, just make it difficult. Individual defense and, as a help defender.
And I know we've talked how strong he is defensively, but I guess in Game 2, did you see him be more impactful on the offensive end or the defensive end?
I think he did a great job of both. We challenged both him and Jared defensively to be more active and be more physical and be more aggressive. And I think he definitely responded on that end for sure.
When you talk about Karras and the impact that he made in Game 2, what did you like most about his performance?
I think he was himself. He was aggressive, and he just made the right basketball play over and over and over again. They had some tough decisions to make as far as matchups go. And when he needed to cut, he cut. When he needed to shoot, he shot. When he needed to attack, he attacked. But then to do all of that and pick up, the other team's best perimeter player full court and dog him and challenge him, and then play 40 minutes, at that same level, same energy, I think was extremely impressive.
How much of the decision to continue to stick with Karras had to do with making sure that you had 5 offensive threats on the court at the same time?
Again, it was more about how do you make them pay for the decisions that they're making. And, again, you want to make them have to make an adjustment. And so we'll see what adjustment they make.
Given the success that you had with that lineup, are you considering changing your starting lineup going into Game 3?
No.
No. And then for you guys, why are you laughing at me? Why are you laughing at me?
I was going to start to ask a question.
Go ahead.
No.
That's fine. You're fine.
Well, I was just following up on that. And it seems like Darius and Donovan said the other day, too, called Karras an X Factor. What about Game 2 really showed you how good he is like that?
It just was all the different things that he did. Now, watch yourself. It was, he scored, he defended, he facilitated, he drove, he shot threes. He just did everything that we needed and took a ton of pressure off of those guys.
J.B., there are obviously a lot of loud plays. How do you prepare the guys for the environment?
You got to get them to embrace it. It may be loud, but it's going to be fun. If you're really in it for the competition like our guys are, it's just noise. It's just booze, it's just words. But it's fun, and this is why you do what you do, is to compete in environments like this. Being able to band together with your team versus everybody and having that type of a mentality, that's what the team is all about, and that's what our guys have been about.
From this area, what do you think his mindset is going into his hometown?
Obviously, he wants to play well because he wants us to win. I don't think he's any more mindful of because it's home than the situation we're in right now, which is a 7-game series with the New York Knicks. And he's always been about trying to help us win. You think about what he did the other night, like he really took a step back and was facilitating to help other people be successful because it was the right thing to do to help us win. So I expect him to continue to do that.
What's been the key to disrupting run set, especially in Game 2 for Karras?
Our guys have just done a good job of accepting the challenge. We know what he's capable of. We know how good he is and how he can impact the game. But I think our guys have just done a really good job of taking the challenge.
What did you like about what Danny gave you the other night?
There's a ton of small things that may never even show up on the stat sheet. The space he provides. Just like not letting them inbound the ball as quickly as they would like. Just a bunch of little things where he just used his IQ, and his savvy to kind of slow them down and be an irritant. But, again, they always have to account for him because of his reputation.
We've talked to you all throughout the year about the impact that Evan and Jarrett make on a nightly basis. But for you guys in this series in particular, against Mitchell, against Julius, how beneficial is it to your defense to have those two guys back there anchoring everything?
It's the difference. Being able to have one of those guys who can go and challenge a shot and still have another one who can go help finish on the glass. You know, having one of those guys being able to, you know, concentrate and stare the ball down, and then having another guy who can still roam to protect so that that other big doesn't get anything cheap. You know, it just helps us eliminate a lot of things in that paint.
Not just the Knicks bigs, but Barrett, a big part of his game is getting to the rim. Do you feel like those guys have affected his?
Yeah, I mean, I think, again, when they're at their best, they're extremely difficult to attack. You know, they do a good job of presenting themselves and playing the proper angles, you know, to make sure that guys don't go. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes if you're in the wrong spot or you're late, guys attack, now they draw fouls and things like that. But I think they do a good job of being really early to limit guys' attacks in the first place.
You had said after the game that you didn't think that Jared Allen play on Randall was a flagrant. Randall said he thought it was a little unnecessary against the game. Just wondering what your thoughts are.
Again, this is playoff basketball, and like my message to our guys, and it's the same thing that we said the other night. You know, the Knicks continued to play hard. You know, they continued to run through passing lanes, get steals, you know, run for dunks and those types of things. So both teams should be able to continue to play hard, and I thought that was just a challenge of a dunk. You know, there was no malice intent. I mean, you guys know, and I know Jared. Like, Jared's never been accused of being a dirty player. You know, he's tried to block, you know, thousands of dunks in his career, and I just thought that was another example of it.
J.B., you mentioned embrace the moment. There have been imposing players that have come in here and just had majestic nights at Madison Square Garden, LeBron and Michael and Reggie Miller and those types. Is that what you're referring to, just embrace this environment? Yeah,
I mean, that's what the competitors do. You know what I mean? The competitors find a reason, you know, and draw energy from it. And that's what we're hopeful that our guys do is, you know, whatever motivation it takes, and, you know, there's no bigger motivation than where we are right now, but, you know, the motivation to, you know, quiet a raucous crowd, you know, as a group, like, that's how you use it, that's how you embrace it and go out and perform your best.
Yeah, Evan obviously is very even keeled and stuff like that the past 2 years, but has he, like, talked to you at all in the past couple of days just about, like, okay, like, I'm understanding what the playoffs are like, and kind of, because we've talked about how much of it was just experiencing it?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's one of those things where, you know, we just talk all the time,
yeah.
And it's just about, you know, conversations. And with him, it's just more about what we're doing. You know, it's not about the game changing or any of those things. It's about what we need from him. And, you know, just he and I making sure that we're on the same page. And again, he's gone out and got the job done for us over and over again.